My ex wants to have kids with me, and you'll help raise them since you make good money, my wife said as if it were normal. She asked me to pay for her surgery, but I filed for divorce while she was under anesthesia. I thought I had a solid marriage with Denise, 41. We had been together for 15 years, married for 12, with no children. That was our agreement from day one. She had her tubes tied 5 years into the marriage because we were so sure. I supported her completely, took her to the surgery, and cared for her during her recovery. We built a comfortable life, a nice house. We traveled twice a year. We had plans for early retirement. 3 weeks ago, on a Wednesday night, we were having dinner. She drops this bombshell on me between bites of pasta. Trevor got in touch. He wants to have kids with me. Trevor, her ex from before we met. The love of her life who left her for a younger woman 16 years ago. Me? Okay. And you're telling me this? What? I'm considering reversing my tubal ligation. The fork literally fell out of my hand. Me? What did you say? He realized he made a mistake. We've been talking for months. He wants to try again. He wants a family with me. You've been talking to your ex for months? Just catching up. Nothing physical. As if that made it better. So, you want to leave me for Trevor? This is where it gets absolutely insane. No, I don't want to leave you. Trevor can't afford to have kids on his own. He's between jobs, but we can afford it. You make good money. The house is almost paid off. We could raise them together. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. It never came. You want me to raise your ex-boyfriend's children? He would be involved, just not financially. He'd be like a fun uncle who visits. A fun uncle who is also the biological father. You're making it sound weird. It is weird. In fact, she got defensive. She started talking about how I'm close-minded, and that modern families come in all shapes and sizes, and that this could be beautiful. About how Trevor is artistic and sensitive and would bring different values to the children's lives. Me, Denise, we agreed not to have children. You had surgery to ensure we wouldn't have children. People change. I have the right to change my mind. You have the right to change your mind. You don't have the right to bring your ex's children into my house and expect me to pay for them. Our house, our money, we're married. That's when I knew this woman genuinely expected me to finance her second attempt with Trevor. Me, follow your heart, Denise. She smiled. She actually smiled. You'll really consider it? I'm not saying what you should do, but understand that I won't be a part of it. The smile vanished. On Thursday morning, she was on her laptop researching tubal ligation reversal surgeries before I left for work. I made 2 calls that day to my lawyer and to my financial advisor. Update 1. A week later, the reversal surgery was scheduled surprisingly quickly. Private clinic, expedited timelines, an $8,000 procedure. Guess who she expected to pay? On Monday morning, she slides a credit card authorization form across the breakfast table. Denise, I just need your signature. The clinic needs payment up front. I'm not paying for that. It's our money. We're married. Money for you to have another man's children? A resounding no. She went ballistic, screaming that I was financially controlling and emotionally manipulating her. Her sister, Greta, called an hour later. What's this about you refusing to pay for Denise's medical care? Medical care? She wants to reverse her sterilization to have her ex's babies. She's your wife. You support each other. Supporting her doesn't mean funding her reunion tour with Trevor. You're being petty. I'm being practical. Denise ended up taking a loan from her retirement account, $10,000 with penalties. She was furious. I forced her to do it. Meanwhile, I had met with my lawyer. Howard, good guy, handled my colleague's divorce. Very thorough. Howard, this Trevor situation. Do you have texts, emails? She's not hiding it. She's proud of it. Get everything in writing, every conversation about this arrangement. So I did. I started texting instead of talking to confirm. You're having surgery to have Trevor's biological children. Yes. And you promised to support me. I said, follow your heart. I never agreed to raise another man's children. You're my husband. Of course, you'll help raise them. We're a team. What's Trevor's contribution to this team? He will provide the genetic material and emotional support. And financially, he's rebuilding his life. You know that. Don't be cruel. Howard loved those messages. He said they would be very useful. The surgery was scheduled for Friday. Thursday night, Denise was packing her overnight bag. Humming. Seriously, humming. Trevor's taking me tomorrow. He wanted to be there to support me. How considerate. Don't be sarcastic. This is a beautiful thing. Creating life with Trevor. You'll love the children once they're here. You'll see. The delusion was total. On Friday morning, I worked from home. At 9 a.m., after confirming she had checked in for surgery, I initiated the plan. 1. I filed for divorce. Howard had everything ready. 2. I froze all joint accounts on my lawyer's advice, a temporary legal hold during the divorce proceedings. 3. I rerouted my direct deposit to a new individual account. 4. I canceled all joint credit cards where I was the primary account holder. 5. I changed the beneficiary of my life insurance to my brother. 2 hours after the surgery, my phone explodes. It's not Denise. She's still recovering. It's her lawyer, Mr. Morrison. I'm Janet Whitfield. I represent Denise Morrison. What the hell did you just do? I filed for divorce. I assumed Denise mentioned our situation. Janet is recovering from surgery. You froze her accounts while she's in the hospital. The timing is unfortunate, but the decision was made when she chose Trevor and their hypothetical children over our marriage. Janet, this is financial abuse. I had asset protection during divorce proceedings. Very standard. She needs access to funds. She had access. She spent $10,000 on a surgery to have another man's babies. Silence. Then she said, "You agreed to this arrangement. I have messages that prove otherwise. Would you like copies? We'll be in touch." Update 2. The aftermath. Denise came home on Saturday afternoon. Trevor dropped her off. He didn't come in, just waved from his beat-up Honda. A real great dad. She was walking slowly, still in pain. She found the divorce papers on the kitchen counter. The scream could have shattered windows. "Denise, what is this?" "Me. Divorce papers. I thought it was clear. I just had surgery to have another man's children." "Yes, I'm aware. You said to follow my heart." "I did, and so did you. Now I'm following mine, and it's leading me to divorce court." She tried to use the credit card to order dinner. Declined. She tried to get money from the ATM, account frozen. "Denise, how am I supposed to eat? You have your loan money. That's for the baby expenses. Our babies. You mean Trevor's babies, and there is no our anymore." She called Greta. She called her mom. She called Trevor. The whole squad showed up on Sunday morning. "Greta, you're a monster. She's recovering from surgery. My house, a surgery I didn't want, didn't approve of, and didn't pay for. Denise's mom, Betty. Marriage is about compromise." "Compromise? She wants me to raise her ex-boyfriend's children while he plays dad on weekends. Where's the compromise?" Trevor finally spoke. "Look, dude, I know this isn't conventional." "Trevor, with all due respect, shut up. You couldn't keep her 16 years ago. You can't afford to have kids now, but somehow you convinced her to blow up her marriage for your genetics. Either you're a master manipulator or she's lost her mind. Either way, it's not my problem anymore. I love her. Then you pay for everything. I'm between opportunities right now. What a surprise. You're leaving her with nothing. She'll get her fair share in the divorce, but I'm not funding Trevor's breeding project. She gave you the best years of her life. And then she decided to give the rest to Trevor. Decisions have consequences." They left after Denise started crying because her incisions hurt. Greta helped her to the guest room. "Yes, she's in the guest room now." That night, Denise tried emotional manipulation. "Remember when we got married? You said you'd do anything for me." "Me, within reason. Raising your ex's children is not reasonable. You could learn to love them. I could also learn to juggle. Doesn't mean I should. Trevor says you feel threatened by him." "Me? Trevor is unemployed and trying to get his ex to finance his legacy. I don't feel threatened. I feel disgusted." On Monday, she escalated the situation. She posted on social media, "Some men can't handle a woman choosing her own path. Controlling behavior is abuse. Financial abuse. My body." My comments were mixed. Her friends supported her. Mine saw the truth. My friend Tick commented, "She didn't choose the path to her ex-boyfriend." She deleted the post after someone asked, "Wait, is this about Trevor, the guy who left you for a 22-year-old?" Update 3. The legal battle. 2 weeks after the surgery, Denise hired Janet full-time. They came out swinging with their demands. 1. Full alimony for 5 years. 2. The house. 3. Half of my retirement. 4. Payment of medical costs, the reversal surgery. 5. Future child support for potential children. Howard laughed. He actually laughed. "Howard, future child support for non-existent children with another man? That's creative." We countered with the standard division of assets. No alimony. She works full-time. She keeps her loan debt. A clean break. Janet responded with accusations of financial manipulation and coercion. Reproductive coercion. She's literally having surgery to reproduce with someone else. Mediation was scheduled for Thursday at 2 p.m. in a conference room at Howard's firm. Denise showed up with Trevor to our divorce mediation. "Howard, is there any reason why Mr. Garrison? I'm here for emotional support. This is a legal proceeding. He's my partner now." "Since when?" "Since you abandoned me." "Janet, my client was forced to seek support elsewhere when Mr. Morrison withdrew all financial and emotional support. He withdrew support for funding another man's children. Slightly different." We went in circles for 2 hours. Denise insisted she needed the house for the babies. "What babies?" "Apparently, they're trying." Trevor sat there nodding like a bobblehead. Finally, the mediator asked Denise directly, "Mrs. Morrison, is it true that you plan to have children with Mr. Garrison while seeking support from Mr. Morrison?" "Denise, children deserve support regardless of biology. Children who don't exist will exist with Mr. Garrison." "Yes." "Mediator, then perhaps Mr. Garrison should provide the support. I'm an artist. My work isn't about money." The mediator's face was priceless. We didn't reach an agreement. Howard filed for an expedited divorce proceeding based on irreconcilable differences and abandonment of the marital pact. Meanwhile, Denise and Trevor were playing house in my house. She had moved him in temporarily because his roommate kicked him out, probably for not paying rent. I was staying in my brother's guest room, paying the mortgage on a house I couldn't live in because Romeo and Juliet were building their nest. On Friday night, I got a text from my neighbor. "Trevor is moving furniture. I thought you should know." My furniture in my house being rearranged by the unemployed artist. Update 4. The restraining order. Denise escalated things beyond imagination. She changed the locks on my house. The one that only has my name on the deed, bought before the marriage. I went on Saturday to get some clothes. The key didn't work. Me, calling through the door. Denise, open up. You're not welcome here, dude. It's my house. Denise lives here. You abandoned her. I'm going to call the police. Do it. Do it. Tell them how you financially abused me. The police arrived. The officer looked tired before I even started explaining. Officer, so your wife lives here. Ex-wife. Divorce in progress. The house is mine. Separate property. Premarital. Officer, but she lives here. She changed the locks while I was elsewhere to avoid conflict. Officer, sir, this is a civil matter. You'll have to sort it out in court. Trevor from the doorway. You heard him. The smirk on his face. The smirk. Monday. Howard filed an emergency motion for exclusive use of the residence. The judge scheduled it for Wednesday. On Tuesday night, I'm served. Denise filed for a restraining order. She claimed I was harassing her and threatening Trevor. The petition read, he showed up aggressively at the house. He has been controlling finances to manipulate her. I am preventing her from starting a family. She fears for her safety. Howard was furious. This is pure manipulation. She's trying to establish residency and paint you as the aggressor. The hearing on Wednesday was a circus. Denise showed up in a maternity dress. She's not pregnant. She had surgery just 2 weeks ago, but there she was with her hand on her flat stomach playing the victim. Janet argued that I was economically terrorizing a woman trying to fulfill her maternal destiny. Howard presented the deed showing my exclusive ownership, the text messages about Trevor and the children, the bank records showing the $10,000 loan she took out, the neighbor's security footage showing Trevor moving in. Judge, Mrs. Morrison, are you pregnant? Not yet, but I hope to be soon. With a child by Mr. Garrison? Yes, while married to Mr. Morrison. He abandoned me by not agreeing to raise another man's children. Silence. Restraining order denied. Exclusive residency granted to me. They had 48 hours to vacate. Denise screamed. She actually screamed in court. This is discrimination. I have rights. Judge, you have the right to continue your relationship with Mr. Garrison. Elsewhere. Update 5. The Moving Day Massacre. Friday. Moving day. I hired off-duty police officers for security. Best 400 I've ever spent. Denise and Trevor showed up with a U-Haul. At 8 a.m. Greta was there. Betty was there. Even Trevor's mom showed up, a woman I had never met, who immediately started screaming about injustice. Trevor's mom. Are you putting my son on the street? Me. Your 38-year-old unemployed son who is having an affair with my wife. Yes, I'm the bad guy. They started loading boxes. Denise was crying, making sure everyone saw her tears. Then Trevor tried to take my flat-screen TV. Me. That's mine. Denise uses it, so it's mine. I have the receipts in my filing cabinet. Don't be petty. Dude, says the guy sleeping with my wife. One of the officers stepped forward. Sir, leave the television. Trevor backed down fast. What a tough guy. Greta tried next. Denise needs furniture for her new place. Then she should buy some. Greta, with what money? You froze everything. Me? She has a job. Trevor is an artist. Figure it out. Betty pulled out her phone and started recording. This is what financial abuse looks like. Forcing a woman out of her home. It's literally my home, community property. Howard, who had shown up to observe, premarital separate property. Actually, here's the deed. Betty kept recording anyway, muttering about viral videos and justice. The real drama came when Denise tried to take my grandmother's dining set. Me, no way. We picked it out together. Me at my grandmother's estate sale with my money. I need it for the babies. What babies? You just had surgery. The future babies. Me. Trevor's babies. Our babies. There is no our. There's you and Trevor. Leave the furniture. She burst into tears. You're so cruel. I wasted 15 years on you. Funny way to describe a marriage you're leaving for your ex. Trevor stepped forward with his chest puffed out. You need to show some respect. Respect? You're literally stealing my wife and trying to steal my television. They were finally gone by about 2 p.m. The truck half empty because most of her stuff was actually mine. Denise's parting shot. You'll regret this when you die alone. Me. Better than raising Trevor's children. Update 6. The fallout. 3 days after the move, Denise and Trevor were staying with Greta. Apparently, it wasn't going well. I got a call from Greta. The first time she sounded tired instead of angry. They need to borrow money. No, I'm not asking for them. I'm asking because they're driving me crazy and they need their own place. Still no. Trevor isn't looking for a job. He says he's processing the trauma of the move. Sounds about right. Denise keeps talking about baby names. She's not even pregnant yet, but they're trying loudly in my guest room. My kids are asking questions. And you want me to help? God, you're right. This is insane. What was she thinking? The cracks were showing. Meanwhile, the divorce was moving forward. Janet had stopped returning Howard's calls as quickly. Denise's demands were becoming desperate. Last offer, she would accept $50,000 cash and walk away. Howard, actually, that's not terrible. She cheated on me with her ex and wanted me to raise their children. She gets the standard split, nothing more. Could you just end this quickly? She made me leave my own home for 2 weeks. She changed my locks. She doesn't deserve anything extra. Thursday, I got a text from an unknown number. It was Trevor. We need to talk man to man. Pass. I'm trying to be respectful here. You're sleeping with my wife. That ship has sailed. She's divorcing you. She's not your wife. Me, legally still married. Genius. I need you to know I'll take care of her. With what money? Love doesn't need money. Babies do. Without my wallet. Good luck. He continued writing paragraphs about fate and connection and how they were meant to be. How I was standing in the way of true love. Me. You had your chance 16 years ago. You chose someone younger. Now you're broke and need an income stream. Denise volunteered. Not my problem. You're bitter. I'm realistic. Stop texting me. I blocked him. Friday afternoon, Denise showed up at my work. Security called me. She looked rough. Unwashed hair. No makeup. Same clothes I'd seen her in 3 days ago. Denise, we need to talk. Only through lawyers. I'm pregnant. The blood ran cold for a second. Me? She. It's been 3 weeks since the surgery. The doctor said it was possible. Congratulations. Trevor must be thrilled. He is, but we need help. No. The baby is innocent. The baby is Trevor's responsibility. Are you really going to let a child suffer? Me. I'm really going to let Trevor take care of his own child. She started crying. An ugly cry. Security looked uncomfortable. I made a mistake. Several. Actually, I should have talked to you first. Me. You should have been faithful to our marriage. We can fix this. You're supposedly pregnant with Trevor's baby, and you're asking me to fix it? I could be the father like an adoption. The security guard coughed to cover a laugh. Denise, go home to Greta's, or wherever. Just go. This isn't over. Actually, it is. Final update. 2 months later, the divorce was finalized last week. Here's where everyone ended up. The asset division was the standard 50/50ths of marital property. The house was mine, premarital, but I had to buy out her share of the appreciation. Worth it to get her out. She left with about $73,000 in total. Not the fortune she expected, but it wasn't nothing. The pregnancy was a lie. Surprise, surprise. Greta confirmed that Denise got her period 2 weeks after that scene at my work. She was never pregnant, just desperate. Trevor lasted exactly 34 days after the divorce was finalized. Once the reality that there was no house, no money stream, no comfortable life, just Denise's $73,000 rapidly dwindling on deposits and furniture, he bolted. His exit was pathetic. Even by Trevor's standards, Denise woke up to a note. I need to find myself. This isn't working. I'm sorry. He took $1,000 she had withdrawn for the non-existent baby's furniture and disappeared. Denise called me crying at 2 a.m. He left me. Me. Okay, that's all you have to say? What did you expect me to say? I gave up everything for him. Yes, you did. You must be happy. I'm indifferent. I want to come home. That's not your home anymore. We had 15 good years, and you threw them away for Trevor. She hung up. According to Greta, with whom I still text occasionally, we have a weirdly good relationship now. Denise is living in a 1-bedroom apartment, working overtime to cover expenses. She's tried dating apps, but telling guys she just reversed her sterilization to have her ex's babies is apparently not a selling point. Who knew? Trevor posted on Instagram from Costa Rica last week, finding myself through art and adventure with another younger woman. Of course. Betty called me once trying to guilt me into helping Denise. Betty, she's having a hard time. She's an adult who made her choices. She was confused. She was calculating. It just didn't work out for her. You don't feel anything. Relief. And honestly, it's true. The house is peaceful. I redecorated everything. I got a promotion at work without home drama affecting my performance. I've started dating someone casually. Nothing serious, but she's never once mentioned wanting me to finance her ex-boyfriend's children. So, that's already an improvement. The worst part, Denise sent a Christmas card. A Christmas card with a picture of her next to a small sad Christmas tree in her apartment. Inside it read, thinking of better times, maybe new year, new opportunities. I texted Greta. Seriously, Denise sent me a Christmas card. She's convinced you'll take her back eventually. Based on what? On delusion mostly. She keeps saying, you're meant to be. We were meant to be until Trevor texted her. Now she calls him the mistake. The mistake that cost her everything. She knows it well. The last I heard is that Denise was considering moving back to her hometown. Rents are cheaper, and she could stay with her parents. Betty would love that. She could tell Denise daily how evil I am while Denise realizes that Trevor played her like a dollar store harmonica. As for me, life is good, quiet, drama-free, the way marriage was supposed to be. Before my wife decided her unemployed ex's genetic material was worth more than our life together, she wanted me to raise Trevor's children. Instead, she got to experience Trevor's level of commitment. She wanted to follow her heart. It led her straight to a 1-bedroom apartment and a maxed-out credit card. The arrogance was astounding. The assumption that I would simply go along, insulting. The shock when there were consequences, priceless. I feel bad. Sometimes late at night, I remember the good times. Then I remember her sitting across from me enthusiastically explaining how I would pay for Trevor's offspring while he played weekend dad, and any sympathy evaporates. She made her choice. I made mine. The difference is that I can live with mine. Trevor is still finding himself in Costa Rica. Denise is finding out that starting over at 41 with nothing but debt and delusion isn't the romantic adventure she imagined. And I'm finding out that peace and self-respect are worth more than any relationship built on arrogance and betrayal. The best $3,000 I've ever spent to get my life back. Now, Denise is struggling in a tiny apartment, and Trevor is in Costa Rica with some other young girl. My house is finally quiet and peaceful. I'm dating someone new, someone who actually respects the boundaries of a marriage. Denise sent me a Christmas card, still delusional, thinking we're meant to be. But I know better. She chose Trevor's genetic material over our life, and now she has to live with that choice. I lost a wife, but I found my self-respect, and that's worth every penny. If your spouse asked you to fund their life with an ex because modern families come in all shapes, would you walk away immediately, or is there any level of love that makes that acceptable? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Share your thoughts about this story in the comments.